Sell them off and clear the lots. That's the marching orders for many car dealerships as GM and Chrysler try to restructure their business. How are these dealerships handling the news? Our car expert Erick Wicklund from Town & Country Toyota has the answers for us. Good morning to you, Eric.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Okay, so I was just looking at this letter that was in the Charlotte Observer from Bob Mayberry to Jim Press, the president of the Chrysler Corporation, and it just kind of breaks your heart a little bit. He says he's talking about him having to close his dealership, and he says, "It was with shock, dismay, and a sense of personal betrayal that we received notice from Chrysler on May the 15th that our franchise agreement would be terminated as of June the 9th. So what we're wondering here is, can these dealerships fight back? What are they going to do? I mean, there are so many people who are employed by these dealerships.
Well, things went bad so fast. By the time that Mr. Mayberry probably got his letter, which I'm very sympathetic,
yeah,
and his business was making money. So if you're a business that's making money and then you get shut down by a manufacturer that's losing money, it's almost like a conflict. How can somebody that's in bankruptcy close down somebody that's a viable business entity making money? So I'm very sympathetic. It's very complicated too, because the decisions that made to put Chrysler in a position to go bankrupt, they told him he had to shut down his business more or less in 3 weeks. So if you've spent a lifetime or generations building something, paying for a franchise, and then have to give it away and put employees out on the street in 3 weeks, it's a very complicated thing. And then how does TARP and bailout money bail out him and his employees that are on the street?
Yeah, I imagine Bob Mayberry feels like this is a child for him, you know, which would just break your heart. Well, what other options do they have? Can they become some other sort of car dealership? You think that's what some may do, just become a used car lot or something?
Well, if you only had 3 weeks to make a lifetime of generations of decisions, it's hard to make a good decision that is financially sound in 3 weeks, or pass a bill that's supposedly going to help people in 3 days. So I think what most dealerships are doing, I don't know Mr. Mayberry, I'm very sympathetic for anybody who's out of job.
Yeah.
We're having Mr. Press was with Toyota, the president now of the new Chrysler LLC.
Okay.
So most of the old Chrysler dealers are going to import. Suzuki would be one, Toyota, Honda. If they can get another franchise, put it in the same building, hold on to their employees, that is the most humane thing to do. Also, it'll keep, what about the tax revenue that this dealership generated for that county? I mean, he probably, millions of dollars of tax revenue. Now that's gone. What's going to replace that?
Well, we are learning this morning, too, that Chrysler is actually jump-starting some of the production at some of their plants, which is good news, thank goodness. But we want to ask you, too, so obviously these car dealerships that are going to be closing down, they sponsor a lot of charities and athletic events, NASCAR. How are all these facets going to be affected?
Well, that's interesting that you would mention that. We're in the heart of NASCAR. Dodge is a NASCAR sponsored by Chrysler. Honda recently got rid of their race team. I think it's only logical that somebody that's restructuring that doesn't have the base to do such promotions would get out of it. I'm not sure, but I would guess that would be the case.
All to say, if you've got money, it may be a good time to buy a car if you can find a deal on it.
Great deals out there.
All right, Erick Wicklund from Town & Country Toyota. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.